Happy day to all. In previous video, we have discussed about the weathering of the rock. In this video, we are going to discuss about the physical property of the minerals. So, before discussing the physical property of the mineral, first we have to know about what is meant by mineral and mineralogy. So, mineral is nothing but an inorganic element or compound in its natural states. It is a composition should represent a defined chemical formula. It will have the certain internal structure as well as the physical properties. Mineralogy is nothing but the study of mineral in detail. It is one of the sub-branches available in a geology. In mineralogy, deals with various aspects related to minerals such as their individual property, their mode of formation and occurrence. Now we will discuss about the physical properties of minerals. The physical properties of the minerals is nothing but how the minerals will look like. Apart from the chemical composition and some other properties, while looking at the mineral, how it will look by through our naked eyes or by using the microscope. Those properties are come under the physical properties. So the physical properties of the minerals will change from the one mineral group to the another mineral group. So this is one of the main properties which is used to distinguish the minerals of various types from one to another. The physical properties of the mineral mainly depends upon the several factors like degree of aggregations a whole form, degree of cohesions, and sense, light, magnetism, heat and electricity. Look at the slide. The three pictures denote the minerals, but the appearance of each minerals will differ from one to another. So, in order to identify the minerals, the physical properties plays a main role. So, what are all the different types of physical properties are available? How we can able to distinguish the minerals means there will be n numbers of physical properties are available. Those are external appearance and internal structure, cleavage, fracture, hardness, specific gravity, tenacity, color, strength, luster, transparency, fluorescence, and other miscellaneous property. So by these physical properties, we can able to identify the mineral which will come under the which family. If you are taking the mineral means, there will be n number of families are available like quartz, feldspar, amorphous, clay, etc. So in order to identify the correct family, the physical property plays a main role. The first property is external appearance and internal structures. Most minerals possess certain defined geometrical shapes bounded by the smooth planes in the form of well-defined solid called crystals. Three-dimensional arrangements called the internal structure of minerals. Internal structure which will control the external shape of your crystal. The second property is the cleavage. Cleavage is nothing but how your material have the tendency to break more readily in a certain directions other than the appearance of the surface. For example, if you are taking the quartz mineral means, it is very difficult to break. But if you are taking the mica, calcite means, you can break it easily by the certain directions. So cleavage is nothing but how the material have a tendency to break more readily. So depends upon this kind of characteristics we can able to identify whether the mineral will come under the which group. The plane along which the crystals are break is known as the cleavage cleavage planes. So the cleavage can be classified into perfect, good, or indistinct. So the indistinct minerals will have the no cleavage plane. The perfect one will have the good cleavage plane. The examples are mica and calcite. So these are all the different examples of the cleavage. The third property is the fracture. The fracture is defined as the appearance of its broken surface when the material is hammered or broken. So after the application of the hammering action, if your material is break into the pieces means depends upon the appearance of the broken surface, we can able to characteristic the minerals family. Those properties are known as the fractures. So after the breaking, if the broken surface or look like a even means those minerals are flint and chert. Okay, so there will be 5 types of fractures: even fractures, uneven, conchoidal, hacky, earthy. The fourth property is the hardness. So it is defined as the resistance which the minerals oppose to scratchings. So if you are taking one mineral and if you are scratching the surface of the mineral by the hand, by the nails or by the knife or any other instrument, how the minerals will resist your scratching, that will call it as the hardness. So the rubbing can be done by the nails, fingernails, copper coins, knife or steel. So the hardness of the minerals are classified depends upon the most scales of hardness. For example, diamond which will have the hardness number of 10, that is it will give the good resistance to the scratching. The more hardness number 1 denotes the very lesser quality of the mineral and 10 will give the good quality of the minerals. So the mineral which will have the very less hardness number is talc and good hardness is the diamond. The fifth property is the specific gravity is nothing but the ratio of weight of minerals to the weight of equal amount of water. Always the value of the specific gravity of mineral will lies between the 2 to 7. The sixth property is the tenacity. So tenacity is referred to the mineral resistance to breaking, bending or otherwise being deformed. So after the application of the loading, how your material will resist the loading, those are known as the tenacity. If your material is easily brittle means it will get deformed or scratched or broken means those material will have the brittle tenacity. So during the application of the loading, if before the deformation or instead of the deformation, if your material get flexible without breaking means those minerals are known as the mineral will have the flexible tenacity. The seventh property is the color. The color is not a very reliable source of identifying the mineral as it can be affected by the impurities present in the mineral samples. So by the appearance of the color or by looking at the color of the minerals, we are not able to identify the family of the minerals because due to the presence of impurities, the color of the mineral get changes. So the color is not a correct property in order to define the mineral group. So the main property which we can use to identify the group by means of color is a streak. So the streak of the mineral is nothing but the color of its powder. So By the color of the powder of the mineral only we can able to identify the true mineral group. It can be streaks indicate the true color of the mineral, not a color of the minerals. So you are not supposed to identify the group of the mineral by the appearance, that is color appearance. If you want to identify the mineral group by the color means you are supposed to take the mineral and you have to powder it. So by means of powdered color of the mineral only you are supposed to give the correct mineral group. So the powder can be obtained by rubbing the mineral against an unglazed porcelain plate. Okay, so look at the slide. There will be a mineral called pyrite. By looking at the color of the mineral, it will give the different color, that is a brass yellow. Once if you are scratching the minerals against the unglazed porcelain plate, it will give the black color. So the true color of pyrite is black, not a brass yellow. The ninth property is luster. It is the shining of the materials. How it get reflected by the application of the light on the surface of minerals. So the luster of the mineral will change vary from waxy, pearly, metallic, dull, silky, etc. The properties which we have discussed earlier are the certain important physical properties. These are all the some additional properties of the material: transparency, fluorescence and phosphorescence. So if you want to identify the mineral group, whether it is a quartz, whether it is a feldspar, whether it is amorphous or clay materials means, first we have to aware of the physical properties of the mineral. So by defining the physical property of the mineral only, you can able to identify the mineral belongs to the which group or family. This video will helpful in that. Thank you. Happy learning.